Hi, everyone. This is the Kiali sprint number 9 demo. For this sprint, we've been concentrating a lot on 1.0 support. This will be our first release that does support Istio 1.0, so that should be new and exciting. As part of that, we've been working on fixing a lot of bugs that we've had, as well as doing some work in the back end. So there might not be a lot of new features functionality being demoed today, but expect a lot of new interesting things to happen at the end of our next sprint demo. So with that, let's get started. Edgar is going to start the demo. Edgar, you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Good.
Okay, let me share my screen. I hope you... Okay, I hope you can see my screen now.
Yep.
Okay, Matt, so as you said, I won't show a lot of new stuff because we haven't been focusing on fixing bugs. So there are only a few things that I can show this sprint. The first thing is the new color scheme or new styles that are in the service graph. So perhaps it's not too clear, but we have new refinements for the service graph regarding the borders and the backgrounds. I think that it's hard to see only live, so I have prepared an image. So this is the image. And on the left side, we have the new styles, and on the right side, we have the old styles. So you can see that, for example, the versioned box has a different background. There are also different edge thickness for focused and unfocused nodes. And also this little circle is in blue and Ragnoid, and this other was in gray. So those are the little subtle refinements that we have done. I hope this provides an improved look for you. This is the live graph that I have. The next thing that I have to show is that in our way to support Istio 1.0, the new version of Istio, the service graph can now show different kinds of nodes. So for example, this is the version box node that is now showing an application, like in Istio terminology. The product page node is also an application. But for example, the ratings node, this one is a service. And the details v1 node is a workload. So we can now have several kinds of nodes in the same graph. Everything is related to Istio terminology. And as a consequence, we are also listing the services list that are behind each node. So for this is for the details v1 workload, it is behind the detail service. This list can show several number of services. That's the case of the product page, for example, that I have here. It's not showing right now the full list, but for example, this is the product page and the service pack behind it is land page. Well, so I think that this is for the improvements and new features that you can see directly in Kiali. The other thing that I have to show is that, well, we have wrote a tutorial, so you can find a tutorial in the Red Hat developer demos website. It covers from a little explanation about what is Kiali. It covers the installation. It covers installing and feeding with sample data, and it shows briefly all of the features of Kiali. And as always, you can also, it covers the distributed tracing and a cleanup. I hope this can work for newcomers or people trying Kiali for the first time. So it's in the Red Hat developer demos. You can read it, this tutorial there. Okay, that's all for me. There are a lot of new features, but I hope this helps.
Okay, thanks, Edgar, for the demo. Are there any questions for Edgar? Okay, so we'll continue. Juka is now going to do his presentation. Juka, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm just waiting for Edgar to close his sharing. Yep. So I hope I'm sharing the right screen, the one which is currently showing a GitHub page. And so the work that I'm showing today is the result of work being done since previous sprint. So this is not only for this sprint here. And it's mostly a way of allowing open tracing to be done, or distributed tracing to be done automatically for deployments running on Wildfly. So this is done by implementing a microprofile specification, which brings open tracing, and we are using Jaeger by default. So I'm starting then Jaeger here, which it's nothing special here, just Jaeger on Docker, and I'm running here a Wildfly build from sources, but this is the same that will be the next couple of days as Wildfly 14.0.0 beta 2. Just going to word Wildfly on this and export on. Okay. Now with that, then I just start Wildfly with some environment variables for Jaeger so that we get better. So it logs all the spans that we are creating, and it samples everything, which is suitable for a demo. So we have a server started, and I have here a sample project, which is the one I'm currently copying and pasting the commands. I'm building a wall, and I copy the war into Wildfly deployment. So this war, it has no notion of Jaeger. What it does know, though, is about microprofile, right? So we annotate every service that we are interested, or every managed beam. Can be a CDI, it can be EJB in this case, with a @traced annotation. And with this annotation, we can either say, well, by default, it traces. When this annotation is present, it traces things, but we can override on a method. So, well, for this class, I want to trace everything except for this method that I do not want to trace. Right? And similarly, I can use this annotation to override an operation name. So instead of the operation name being sent notification, I can then change it to, I don't know, toolbar notification. Right, and then this is the operation name showing on Jaeger. But right, so I built the war file, I deployed on Wildfly, and with only this annotation is enough to get some traces. And yeah, so let me just paste, and then we just open Jaeger. And we set the service name by default to the deployment name, which is usually the war file name. And we can see here that we have 5 spans for that request. And since we are not messing with any dependencies, again, we are only adding the API, so open tracing API, so that we can have access to the tracer if we need it. I don't think we need in this demo here. And the microprofile API to add the traced annotation. And the small RAI implementation, which is the small RAI is the reference implementation for microprofile open tracing. It brings JAX RAS and CDI integration with it. So we see here pretty much the same data that we have if we were to include the JAX RAS integration by ourselves, which our application. In this case, the advantage is the jars or the dependencies are not managed by deployment or per deployment, but rather it's built into the application, so by Wildfly. And I think that's pretty much it, actually.
Okay, thanks, Juka. Is there any questions? I guess not. So I think that concludes the sprint demo that we have. So thanks everyone, and enjoy the rest of the day. Bye.